Hello guys. I am Flare the Dragon Slayer. Welcome back to Fictional Face Off. Today's battle will celebrate the end of the decade, with 2000s memes versus 2010s memes. For the 2000s memes, we have Chuck Norris, Ouija, Malio, Mama Luigi, Pingus, Morshu, The King, CDI Link, CDI Ganon, Spingbill, Squidward, More Crabs, Donald McDonald, UN Olin, Knight of Knights Sakuya, Dio, Captain Falcon, over 9,000 Vegeta, 300 Leonidas, Laura Jenkins, Star Wars Kid, Afro Ninja, Cats, Kittler, Keyboard Cat, Long Cat, Speedy Cat, Dancing Banana, Dancing Badgers, Dramatic Chipmunk, Advice Dog, Courage Wolf, Velociraptor, Giant Enemy Crab, Charlie the Unicorn, Zalgo, Tails Doll, The Rake, Singing He-Man, Shoot the Whoop, Awesome Face, Mudcups, Sonichu, Troll Face, Loituma Girl, Dr. Octagonibus, Hatsune Miku, Evil Elmo, Bonzi Buddy, and Microsoft Sam. For the 2010s memes, we have number 1 Robbie Rotten, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shitty, No Scope Mario, Gabe Newell, MLG Shrek, MLG John Cena, Thomas the Dank Engine, Freddy Fuckboy, Swigzilla, Dolan, Spiderman, Sanis, Doge, Gabe the Dog, Grumpy Cat, Nyan Cat, Bongo Cat, Dad Boy, Papy the Frog, Heron the Gorilla, Quarry in the House, Gyrin Fax Gyrin, Slenderman, Herobrine, Sonic EXE, Cold Steel, Uganda Knuckles, Big Chungus, Big Yoshi, Spongiger, Serpi Sans, Movie Sonic, Infinity War Thanos, Granddad, Prodigy Antivirus, Duolingo Bird, Phil Swift, Terry Crews, Ricardo Milos, Moto Moto. You're Already Dead Kenshiro, Will Crash Bandicoot, Dancing Hot Dog, Bosette, Shaggy, Curb, and Droog. And now, for the research. Up first, let's go over to the 2000s memes. We'll start off with Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is a powerful martial artist who served the US military. His signature attack is the roundhouse kick, which is equivalent to the energy of the Big Bang. He is also durable enough to survive the sun, and he not only has a sixth sense, but all the senses that exist. Also, he can't truly die, since death itself fears him. Up next we have Ouija. Ouija's signature move is the Ouija Death Stare, which can either make the person he stares at explode and die, or turn into a Ouija clone. He also has laser vision, teleportation, and a Ouija army. He also has plenty of forms. He can turn into Fire Ouija by using a fire flower. In this form, he has pyrokinesis, and his death stare can burn the opponent. He can turn into Dark Ouija only when he's enraged. In this form, his death stare can destroy the opponent from existence, but it can only last for a few seconds. He can turn into Ultimate Ouija through anger or energy given by others. In this form, he can perform the Falcon Punch, and he cannot be harmed by almost anything. He can also use the Fire Flower to become Fire Ultimate Ouija. He can transform into God Ouija through extreme anger. In this form, he is nearly invincible. He also has Fireballs, Ice Balls, Electric Punch, and the Giga Ouija Blast, which is powerful enough to kill gods, but it could drain most of his power and might even lose this form. If he does get destroyed, he could come back as Dark Angel Ouija, which is seemingly indestructible, but he can't stay in this form for long. However, if he stares into a mirror, it could kill him. Up next we have Malio. Malio is Ouija's brother. Like Ouija, he has laser vision and teleportation. He can use the Fire Flower to become Fire Malio. He can also turn into Ultimate Malio, which is the same as Ultimate Ouija, but slightly weaker. He can also use the Fire Flower to become Fire Ultimate Malio. Up next we have Mama Luigi. Mama Luigi has the same powers as Luigi, such as fireballs, hammers, and high jumping skills. Up next we have Dr. Robotnik's Pingus. His Pingus is so strong that it launched Sonic all the way to the moon. He also has an army of robots under his command. Up next we have Morshu. Morshu is the supplier for the 2000s memes. He is a shopkeeper who sells lamp oil, rope, and bombs. His strongest bomb is the Morshu, which is powerful enough to take out gods and other omnipotent beings. Up next we have the King. King Harkinian is the king of Hyrule and Zelda's father. His main weapon is his dinner blaster, which can shoot dinner that can make anyone who consumes it instantly obese. It is also capable of destroying planets. Up next we have CDI Link. CDI Link is the hero of Corridor. His main weapon is his Master Sword. He can use the Triforce of Courage to become Triforce Link. In this form, he can use the Gate of Doom, which can destroy pretty much everything around him. Up next we have CDI Ganon. CDI Ganon is CDI Link's enemy. He has electrokinesis, dark powers, and he can possess people and make them stronger. It is stated that only Link can defeat Ganon. Up next we have Spingbill. Spingbill is a clone of SpongeBob. He is one of the most traumatic characters in YouTube poop. If you look at his eyes, you will be petrified with fear. He is a skilled serial killer and he is master of martial arts. Up next we have Skyward. Skyward is the freebie of Spingbill. He is a demonic serial killer. He has a knife that can kill Ouija. Up next we have More Krabs. More Krabs is a morbid version of Mr. Krabs who always wants MOAR. He uses his More Roar to yell at his enemies and shoot a deadly laser out of his mouth. He can teleport, grow, and shoot tiny More Krabs at you as bombs. Up next we have Donald McDonald. Donald McDonald is a Japanese doppelganger of Ronald McDonald. He can use his insanity to confuse his enemies. He also has giant hamburgers, giant fries, and explosive fries to attack his opponents. Up next we have UN Owen. In case you didn't notice, UN Owen was actually her. By her I mean Flander Scarlet. As in the meme version of Flander, who is much crazier. She has the same powers as Flander, including duplication and Danmaku. She can also confuse her enemies with remixes. Up next we have Knight of Knights Sakura. This is basically a crazier version of Sakuya. Like Sakuya, she can stop time and she is master at knife throwing. She can also confuse her enemies with remixes. Up next we have the meme version of Dio Brando. His battle cry is like Dio, he can stop time using the Zawarudo. His signature weapon is his Road Roller, which can crush almost anyone, no matter who durable. He is also a master of disguise. Up next we have the meme version of Captain Falcon. His main attack is the Falcon Punch, which can one-shot anyone and anything, no matter who durable they are. He can also perform the Falcon Kick and Falcon Drive, and he has his trusty Blue Falcon. Up next we have over 9,000 Vegeta. This is basically Vegeta except his power level is over 9,000. This is not Dragon Ball power scaling, this is meme power scaling. He has the same powers as Vegeta, including the Gala Gun and Final Flash, as well as his Super Saiyan forms. Up next we have 300 Leonidas. King Leonidas I is the king of Sparta. His main attack is his Sparta Kick. Whenever he kicks his opponent, they can fall into a bottomless pit. He also has a spear and a shield. Up next we have Leroy Jenkins. Leroy Jenkins was a legendary character in World of Warcraft. He has a large sword and indestructible armor. Up next we have the Star Wars Kid. The Star Wars Kid is a drunken Jedi born from Canada. His main weapon is his battering ram, which he can turn into a lightsaber. Up next we have the Afro Ninja. The Afro Ninja is a skilled ninja who uses nunchucks as his main weapon. Up next we have Cats. Cats is an alien warlord with poor English speaking. You can run from him, but you can't hide. He knows the location, and can take over all of your bases. He has an army of robots and other alien life forms. Up next we have Kittler. Kittler is a cat that wants to invade Poland, with its army of Nazi cats. Up next we have Fatso the keyboard cat. Fatso can kill her opponents by playing a dangerous note with her piano. Up next we have Long Cat. Long Cat is the longest cat, if not the longest being, ever. It can control its size, and it has immense power. Whoa, next we have Speedy Cat. Speedy Cat is basically a flying cat that can fly at the speed of light. It attacks by ramming into its opponents. Up next we have the Dancing Banana. It is a banana that likes to dance to the Peanut Butter Jelly Time song. Anyone who sees him dance will dance along with him. His main weapon is his baseball bat. Up next we have the Dancing Badgers. They are badgers that like to dance. They have the same attributes as a normal badger, as well as constant duplication. Up next we have the Dramatic Chipmunk. This chipmunk that is very dramatic. His main attribute is a stare, which can be able to blow stuff up. Up next we have the Advice Dog. Advice Dog will be the advisor of the 2000s memes. Whatever situation you're in, Advice Dog is here to give you helpful advice. Up next we have the Courage Wolf. Courage Wolf will be the co-advisor of the 2000s memes. It can tell deadlier and courageous advice. Up next we have Velociraptor. Velociraptor always asks questions. It could ask so much questions that it could drive you crazy. Up next we have this giant enemy crab. It is an ancient giant crab that lived in Japan. It has strong claws, tough armor, and it can summon smaller crabs. However, his main weakness is his stomach. Up next we have Charlie the Unicorn. Charlie is a unicorn who often is trying to live his life normally, though is often interrupted by lulls and brothel with some crazy or random situations. He can breathe underwater and in space, and he has a horn to attack his opponents. Up next we have Zalgo. Zalgo is an entity of pure chaos trapped inside a glass wall. He has reality warping, immortality, resurrection, regeneration, telepathy, telekinesis, shapeshifting, teleportation, pyrokinesis, darkness manipulation, time manipulation, space manipulation, and possession, although he requires permission from a human to possess him. His strongest attack is the Song of the Soul. When his seventh mouth sings that song, it will destroy pretty much everything. Up next we have Tails Doll. Tails Doll is a demonic doll that exists in a corrupted Sonic R game. He has an antenna that can glow in the dark and shoot laser beams. He can also warp reality and drive his victims to insanity. He is also fast enough to keep up with Super Sonic. However, if his gem is cut off, he will become inactive. Up next we have the Rake. The Rake is a mysterious creature that was seen in New York. It has razor-sharp claws, night vision, and he can drive people to suicide. Up next we have Singing He-Man. Singing He-Man has the same powers as normal He-Man, such as Herculean strength and super breath. His main weapon is his power sword. Up next we have Whoop Da Whoop. Shoop Da Whoop is a destructive entity that shoots lasers out its mouth. These lasers can destroy planets, solar systems, and even galaxies. Up next we have Awesome Face. Awesome Face, also known as Epic Smiley, is a face that is always happy. It can clone itself as many different forms. I heard you like mudgups. So that's what I'll be talking about next, except this is a meme version of the mudgup. Anyone who says it will faint from its cuteness. It has the same powers as normal mudgup, such as water gun, whirlpool, and hydro pump, but stronger. Up next we have Sonichu. Sonichu was created when a Pikachu accidentally merged with Super Sonic through the Chaos Energy. He can blast thunderbolts like Pikachu and he can spin dash like Sonic. However, he is much slower than Sonic, and he is severely allergic to pickles. Up next we have Trollface. Trollface is the most deceived meme of them all. It can troll and trick people in every way possible. Up next we have Loyatuma Girl. Her main weapon is her leap. She can use it to one-shot almost anyone. Up next we have Dr. Octagonibus. He has strong tentacles, and he can shoot a laser out of his mouth. Up next we have the meme version of Hatsune Miku. Her singing can not only gain thousands of fans, but also people and even heal an entire planet back to life. Her singing can also damage enemies directly. Up next we have Evil Elmo. He is an evil version of Elmo. He is extremely dangerous. His main weapons are his knife and gun. Up next we have Bonzi Buddy. Bonzi Buddy is a spyware that spams pop-ups and shares jokes, facts, and others. He can corrupt data and destroy computers with viruses. And last but not last, we have Microsoft Sam. Microsoft Sam is the embodiment of a text-to-speech voice. He has a rafflecopter that goes swah swah swah, swah swah swah, and other weapons. I'll go over the 2010s MEMES in the next part.